Dustin Long, NBC Sports. So what do you think about the repave, and what are the questions or concerns? And I guess also looking at that section off of 4, the high groove leads into the restart zone, and the bottom groove is old pavement.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what to think yet, not being out on the track and feeling it, but definitely looks like the bottom is obviously preferred. It looks like, the guys are chasing the paint on the bottom there. So I walked the track earlier, and it was really smooth and everything. So I don't really know what to expect. It looks like there's a little transition off of 4 that could be interesting, just like you said, right where the restart zone starts there, and kind of the way the normal groove is there. You kind of end up in the old asphalt. So I don't really know. I mean, I think just trying to figure out what we're going to have and just try to work from there. But it looks like, it'll be tough to pass, I think, until it widens out, hopefully. And our cars, lap cars and everything like that will hopefully move it up a little bit.
I'm going to go right here to Nate.
Nate Ryan, NBC Sports. William, I want to look ahead to Chicago, if that's okay. You said after SVG's win there last year that it was sort of amazing what he did with shifting and braking and all that stuff. So, coming off of Sonoma, I don't know. I know Chicago's the only street course, but have you been working on a lot of those things? And do you feel like he still goes in there having an edge, or do you feel like you and others in the series will sort of maybe close the gap a little bit this year?
Yeah, I don't know if he's running the race or not, but I do think that he'll certainly still have an advantage. The street course is, I think, his awareness and feel for the walls and how close he can be is probably the biggest advantage I see. He's very comfortable with that. Even watching him in the Sonoma Xfinity race, in 11, he was really good there compared to other people. So I just think his awareness and ability to run close to the different apexes is really critical. And then I think our setups have evolved and probably taken some things and learned some things. So I'm sure the competition will be that much better and prepared to race against him. But he'll still be good if he's in the race for sure.
We're going to go to Zach and then Chris in the back.
Zach Sterniello, NASCAR.com. 66 points out of the points lead right now. 10 weeks to go in the regular season. What do you feel like this 24 team needs to do and can do over that time to get yourselves back farther up in that conversation to chase that regular season championship? Yeah,
I mean, I don't think we're really looking at that. We're just looking at trying to run more consistently and better. We've had speed the last 5-6 races really at different times of the weekend, and I feel like still, Charlotte was our best race in the last handful of races. We had really good speed there. So I just feel like just trying to put together consistent runs and try to put ourselves in position again to, build points as we go. Because I feel like we're maybe not scoring the stage points that we need to. So that would be the emphasis, is just to consistently perform throughout the race and try to score, maximum points. Because we, last year I think we had a lot of 40 to 50 point days. And so just trying to get days like that.
Go
William.
Sorry. Go Chris, Bob, and then Lee. Go ahead.
Sorry, Chris Wilner, MRN Radio. Back to the repave. I know you talked a little bit about the transition off of turn 4, but typically on a repave, it's the whole entire track or a certain part around the whole track. But going into 1 with how deep the repave starts, and there's still those characteristics with the old asphalt, how big of a challenge is that going to be when you guys get out there?
Yeah, I mean, your guess is as good as mine. I think that, I've watched some in-car camera from Kyle's test and have a decent idea of what the pace is going to be like, but they were on a lot of different tire sets there, and it was only 3 cars. So it was really tough to widen the groove out there. But yeah, I know I'm going to be in 4th gear. That's about all I know. So I don't really know where I'm going to lift or what it's going to feel like. I just have to kind of see and adjust from there. Yeah, I mean, as is with any new racetrack, you just have to go out there and feel it and hopefully make the correct adjustments over 50 minutes to get something close.
Go to Bob.
Bob Pockris, Fox Sports. You talked about watching Larson's in-car camera. I assume you guys don't really race the same, like you don't necessarily like all the exact same things in a car, so how much can you tell, or how much is that a help if he's maybe prefers maybe a different feel?
Yeah, I mean, with this car, the feel is much, much closer between teams. So, it was really kind of to me, there's more of an optimal feel with this car. So you're always kind of, chasing that. So I felt like for their test, they were pretty close, especially by the end. The last 3 runs, I would say, was pretty close. But the rest of the test was, pretty far off. The track was pretty far off. So hard to learn much from their balance, up until the end. And then I felt like they were pretty comparable to whoever else was there. I think Bell and Kozlowski. So I'm sure we'd feel better if we were them and we had the test and have a feel for the racetrack. But at the same time, Wilkesboro, we had a great feel for that track. And when we showed up, the track was rubbered in, and we weren't as good as we were at the test. So, sometimes not knowing is kind of a good thing.
Lee Spencer, Sirius XM NASCAR Radio and CatchFence.com. I'm curious, as solid as you have been at Phoenix, you seem to have struggled at New Hampshire, and you're still looking for your top 10 there, and I'm kind of wondering what has eluded you specifically about that short 1 mile track?
Yeah, I don't really know. I think just trying to figure out what the balance is that we need to go fast there. I had a lot of success there leading up to the Cup Series, and then even my first 2 years in the Cup Series, relative to where I was running, other tracks, I thought I ran pretty well there. But it just seems like with our current team, we just haven't really been very good there, and we just have to figure out what that is. And hopefully go through a lot of notes this week and kind of have something, comparable to go run there. Last year we had some damage on the car. I believe we had the right front splitter was caved in based on a pit road issue, and up until then we had led some laps, and then we had an issue in practice with the steering rack was locked up. So just not a clean weekend last year. So I think that's a track that we probably last year could have run top 7 at, but this year going back, obviously big focus to try to get better. And based on where Phoenix and Gateway were to start this year, definitely some work to do. So I feel like we're going to learn some things this week and hopefully have something close.
We'll go to Philip, and then we're going to wrap with Michael.
William, Philip Jones from the Des Moines Register. I know there are a lot of unknowns right now, but do you feel like as the weekend goes on and the track is rubbered in, that a second lane could develop?
I really have no idea. I mean, I don't know anything about this racetrack till we get out there, but I do feel like it's naturally going to have to develop because somebody's going to have to go somewhere, to either catch the car or lappers are going to have to be off the bottom. So I feel like the Cup guys will try to move that groove up, obviously, and hopefully the feeder races will kind of help us, with that as well. And those guys, they're typically very dependent on one lane in some of the lower series, but hopefully some guys kind of widen out naturally.
Michael Massey, front stretch. There's a stat going around last week that Larson had passed Elliott for the most Hendrick wins. Is that a stat you're paying attention to at all, given you're not that far behind either of those guys?
Yeah, I mean, not really. I did see that stat, but I mean, not really. I think we're all different experience levels and, came into the Cup Series at different times, but just trying to have continued success. I don't try to compare too much to one person, but just trying to have continued success and keep trying to win races and hopefully all those stats will line up at the end of your career and you can look back on them.
Awesome. William, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Steven Stump of FrontStretch.com here. Come back for more great racing videos, and if you like us, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.